Winner by KO, the Omen, Raven Chapman.
Hi, I'm Susie from Women's Fight News, sponsored by Champions Memorabilia. And I'm here today with British pro boxer, Raven Chapman. So thank you very much for joining me, Raven. And how are you?
That's absolutely fine. I'm very well, thanks, Susie. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. And thank you very much for joining me so early in the morning in your car ride.
Yeah, so on our way to sparring this morning. So what better time, what better way to use up my time than to have a good chat with you?
Yeah, that's great. And sparring-wise, let's jump straight into that, because you've been sparring a lot of big names. So what great sparring you've been having?
Yeah, so today I'm sparring one of your friends, Ebanie. So that'll be good. It's the first time I've ever sparred Ebanie, so really looking forward to that. And I've also for this camp been sparring Ellie Scotney as well. So yeah, it's all been going really well and enjoying it. A lot of travel though. Gyms are a bit far from us, but obviously Ellie's come to us as well, so that's been good. But yeah, enjoying it, and I'm excited for today.
Yeah, and I can't wait to hear all about it.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll get a good load out afterwards.
It'd be great. I've already said to you, it'd be great to be a fly on the wall for this one.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Obviously, we're sort of sparring Ebanie because of size-wise. Guanini, who I'm fighting, is a bit smaller than me, height-wise, and obviously Ebanie's a bit shorter than me, so it'll be good sparring for that. And I think their styles are sort of similar. So yeah, hopefully it should be a really good spar.
That brings us into your big news, because obviously what big fight news has been announced that on the 24th of September, the huge fight card for Joe Joyce versus Parker, you're going to be fighting for the WBC International Feather title against Jorgelina Guanini. So what a great fight.
Yeah, really excited, and I'm really happy that everyone's managed to get this fight over the line and for it to be for a title. And it's only my fourth fight, and Jorgelina, she's got a lot of experience. We've all seen like the tough time that she gave Ellie. Although I know that wasn't Ellie at her best at the same time. So as much as she might have given her a tough time, and she still got a win. So I'm pretty confident going into it now. And yeah, I'm just really excited that I've got a very, very good opponent this time. Someone with that experience and know-how, and she's a former world champion, so she's going to be my toughest test to date. So I'm really looking forward to that, and that's the kind of fight that I want.
Because we saw how tough she is, like you said, in all these previous fights. I mean, she gave all a run for her money, considering she wasn't even ready for that fight. And we saw what a hard...
like a week's notice. It's like, you can't underestimate her at all. You can't think, I can't go in there and think I'm just going to walk through her or anything like that. I'm going to have to be on my A game.
And we saw what she did to Stevie, afterwards, Stevie's face, she comes forward, like you said, she gives a fight. And
Stevie's got a very good heart. She's up for a fight, and Jorgelina, she showed her skills in that fight and what she can do and what she's about, and that she's still one of the contenders and she's up there. So yeah, in that sense, it's going to be a very exciting fight. I think our styles will mix very well for the fans. And it'll be a fun one to watch.
100%. And she's never been stopped, considering you're like you're someone who likes to stop people. I mean, under 60 seconds in the last fight. She's never been stopped. So what a great match up for you to see where you're at.
Yeah, massively. Obviously, she's never been stopped by anyone. I'm not going to go out and look for a stoppage with it, because if you go out and fight and try and get a stoppage, that's generally when it doesn't happen. But I believe if I do what I do, I'm more than capable of getting that, and that I know I'm strong at the weight. Obviously, she's coming up from super bantam as well, so I know I should have a good strength advantage. Even when you look out, you know, so I think she's only had one stoppage in 14 wins. No, it will definitely be interesting and a good measure to see where I'm at, especially this early on in my career as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, you know, you've only just signed with Frank Warren and BT Sport, and what a debut you had with them. I mean, and like I said, under 60 seconds in your last fight. How did that feel? York Hall, great venue to do that.
Yeah, it was great. It was I feel like I've been quite lucky in my 3 fights. It's like I've had a debut every fight, it feels like. So, you know, my debut with Queensbury and Frank Warren, it was, you know, it couldn't have been any sweeter really, and having it fairly local to me as well. It's a nice venue at York Hall. It's very intimate, and you can, the crowd is on you, and you can feel all the energy and everything when you're in there. So yeah, I loved it, and I feel like now I've got this opportunity. Obviously, I've been able to show everyone at Queensbury what I'm about, and that, you know, they do have that belief in me, to be able to get me this opportunity and to be willing to give me this opportunity this early on.
And also, you get, like, when me and Sasha talked about how annoying it is with certain boxing supporters that you can't do right for doing wrong, because you go out, you knock someone out in 60 seconds, you get told they weren't a good enough opponent for you, but then you go to points and it was, well, you should have got the knockout.
But 100%. And even in fairness, us going in thought that having Meze was going to be more of a test, because when you look at her resume, especially her last few, like, she's not been stopped since she fought Baumgardner, you know, and after that she'd taken plenty of up and coming prospects in and around my way, the distance, stealing rounds. So you just think, like you say, you can't win. Like, I've stopped her too quickly, but for other prospects that have the same and around the same number of fights I have, she's a good test. So it is a little bit of a, you just can't win either way. It's not hard enough, or it's you should have done more. So, but I take it with a pinch of salt, really, because it just shows what level I'm at, I think, and where I'm going. And I'm not talking rubbish when I say I know I've got the power, and, you know, the stuff that we work on is so that when the finish is there, I can go for the finish, and that's in my arsenal then.
For me personally, it could have been more perfect opponent, because I feel like the women get a harder deal than the men, because if you look at a men's pro record, how many fights do they have before they start stepping up? Whereas you were in your 3rd fight, like you said, she was a perfect opponent and you made a statement. So for anyone criticizing that they don't really know what they're talking about as such, because what a great statement.
Exactly. And it's true, you know, in the men's, when you see their early career, they're quite padded out with plenty of different sort of journeymen, and a few people that are still journeymen but there to test, because they do steal rounds from people, and it just shows where you're at 100%. But I think with levels in women's, you've got 2 distinct levels. I think the higher level and the lower level, so it can become maybe more apparent in the women than it does the men, but it shouldn't discredit what we're doing either.
Exactly. And now, you know, suddenly you've got this massive step up, so no one can criticize.
No, exactly. So if it happens again, no one can really say, well, you should have had it. He's going to be very tough, you know, and I'm not taking this lightly. Like, I know it's going to be a tough challenge, and she's going to make me work to get a win, and that's what I want.
Yeah, Definitely. And how's it feel being under Frank Warren, being like, you know, you're the only female since Nicola Adams that they've signed? How's it feel being like that, you know, the star female boxer for them?
Yeah, do you know what? I feel so welcomed by everyone in the team. You know, I don't just deal with them through Steffi, my manager. I've got a few contacts that I can speak to, and you know, they're all very supportive and want me to do well, obviously, I guess. And you know, they're coming down to the gym at Queensbury to film and speak to us this week, and yeah, just, you know, I feel very humbled to have the opportunity that they've taken that chance on me to get me there. So, like I say, I couldn't have had a sweeter first fight under Frank Warren and Queensbury by getting the result that I did. And now they're going to give me a test, and that's exactly what I want. And that's why I'm glad that we made the deal go through and Steffi got this deal for me, because already I feel like it's showing what I wanted and where I want to go and what I want to achieve. Yeah, so I feel great. And at the same time as well, as much as it'd be great to get more females under the banner, being the only one only works in my favour at the moment.
Yeah, 100%, definitely, because all eyes on you.
Exactly.
And I mean, saying that, they've gone and put on Amanda Serrano on the same card, but
yeah,
what a perfect female to put on the same card with you, because you know, same weight division. You've not shied away from saying she's somebody you'd like to share a ring with. So how great is that?
Yeah, it was crazy. I remember when the guys from Queensbury told me about it before they announced it, and I just didn't see it coming at all. I was so surprised. I thought it was amazing. Obviously, I've been a big fan of Serrano's, and she's obviously somebody, because she's in the same weight as me, that I've been targeting since I turned over, because she's world champion at my weight. She's got most of the belts, and she's fighting to unify now with Mahfoud. And she's pound for pound, obviously one of the best female fighters out there. So having her in my weight just spurs me on to do the best I can, because I would love to face her one day. And the fact that we're going to be fighting on the same card is, you know, just so exciting for me anyway. And the chance that I'll get to meet her beforehand, and yeah, hopefully in the near future we'll be on the same card, but it'll be Chapman versus Serrano.
Definitely. What a great way to scope out your competition.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I think I'll make a bit of a statement, and then you know, it's the WBC International title. Amanda's got the WBC World title, so it just puts me another step closer to being her mandatory anyway.
Yeah. And it looks likely that she's heading towards undisputed. So,
yeah,
you know,
which would be even better. You know, I think there's no doubt in my mind that Amanda will become the undisputed featherweight champion. I don't see Mahfoud beating her that night, and yeah, that's the only way I see it. So yeah, maybe it'll be a big fight between us for all the belts.
That's it. You could get all of them at once.
Yeah. Perfect.
But you know, how crazy is it that you've literally got one of, you know, arguably the best fighter in the world, because you know it's always between the three of them, isn't it? Katie Taylor, Clarissa, and Amanda in your actual weight division. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah, like I say, it's crazy, but it just gives you so much motivation to get there. You know, just to be able to fight on the same card as Amanda this early on in my career, to hopefully one day being able to face her on the other side of the ring is the dream, really, isn't it? Like that's what you want. You want to fight the champions and the best in your divisions, and who better out there than Amanda Serrano?
Definitely. What a fight that will be. Because
Yeah,
you both like to
excited.
punch, don't you? You both like to hit.
Yeah, it'll be feel like it'll be a fight in a telephone box, that one.
Yeah, definitely.
Go back steps.
So, who else have you got your eye on? You know, because obviously this is a huge step up, and then obviously Amanda's long-term goal.
Yeah.
Who would be in between?
Do you know what? I don't really know. I've not been looking past Jorgelina for this fight because, you know, that's who I'm up against next. I know what my goal is, and once I've got past this step, then we'll sort out the next step for me eventually reaching that goal. So in that sense, whoever my team put in front of me is who's going to be next, and I leave that to them, really. Whoever's out there, you know, we believe that we will be able to beat.
Brilliant. And talking about you know, your friend Terri Harper, she's going to be fighting same night. I mean, what a night for boxing! 24th September.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a shame it's on the same night. So obviously, I'd have liked to have been there, and they'd have liked to have been at mine. But you know, what a sweet night that will be. We both get the win. We both have a shiny new belt. So yeah, I'm really excited for T to become two-time two-weight world champion, and I know it's going to happen.
How do you see that fight going down then? Do you see a stopping ranking? Do you see it on points? Because you're obviously backing her to win.
Yeah, she could get a late stoppage, I think, in terms of flurrying over the rounds, maybe a late stoppage. If not, it'll be points. But I think, you know, just maybe too much for Rankin.
And talking about fight predictions, obviously we've got a mega fight night coming up on the 10th of September.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you the two main event predictions. So first up, Shields Marshall. How do you see that going?
So me and my coach have the opposing views on this one. I see a Marshall win. I think she's just too strong, too much. Or not necessarily for Claressa. Claressa is very good, but I just think she has the edge in terms of physicality over Claressa. Skills wise, I think they're very on par. So in that sense, I think that extra bit that Claressa's Savannah Marshall's got gives her the edge over Claressa. With Stu, on the other hand,
I think Shields boxes her head off, to be honest with you. But there you go. I think she punches too wide and a little bit too loopy for Shields, who is so slick. But time will tell. I really rate Savannah. I think she's awesome. But I just think that Claressa Shields on this instance, I just think it's going to be all wrong for her. But we'll see. Time will tell.
Yeah.
And that's what's so exciting, that everyone's got different views.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Like I say, it is a 50 style that you favour, I think, which is exactly what I thought with the Katie Taylor and Serrano fight, of which kind of styles that you favour. Because obviously, boxing is so subjective. People like different things and different styles. The art of boxing is that everyone's different. So I think I'd favour the work of Savannah, whereas I think Stu would favour the work of Claressa.
And then the next big fight that night, Mayer versus Baumgardner. How do you see that one going?
I feel like this one's really hard to call. I've not made my mind up yet. I'm still very 50-50. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I think that one's going to be. I'm on the fence with that one at the minute. What are you?
I'm leaning towards Mayer, just slightly. Bit bigger, a bit stronger, but just leaning, but not. Yeah, leaning. It's very good for Gardner. Very sharp.
Yeah, they're both very good. I think they both bring out the best in each other. So
Yeah. And what a week of build up for, you know, because they've both got beef, haven't they? Both fights.
Yeah. So yeah, just super exciting. It's great. I think September's could be a good month for boxing and female boxing.
And I was going to sort of end on, I just watched a little video that is on YouTube that's been put out about you. And it's from your sponsors, your bricklayers, the HG.
Oh yeah. The Brickyard.
Mr. Fire.
Yeah.
How fun was that to film?
It was really good fun. You know, Jim, who is one of the owners at HG Matthews, he gets all these crazy ideas of things to do, like, oh, shall we try this, shall we try that? We've got, they have their film director who films all the stuff to promote the yard and everything, Steve Clark. So we came up, obviously, if you've seen the first one from a couple of years ago when they first started sponsoring me, it's a little bit of a take on like Flashdance and like Wonder Woman, and you know, just doing that one. And then at the Christmas meal, some of the guys at work were just thinking of ideas for the next episode, and this was one of the ideas that everyone sort of came up with. So we got it done, we got it filmed, and it turned out really well. It's really funny. It's sort of based on a sort of Bruce Lee kind of kung fu films, like Enter the Dragon kind of thing. So yeah, just a bit of fun and just a way to sort of promote the yard as well as promote myself. There's parts in it where it shows you like all around the different parts of the brickyard. So, you know, like we're not just brick makers, we do all sorts of other things as well as make bricks. So yeah, it's good fun and it's just a great environment to be in, and it's like the kind of thing that Jim comes up with and gets everyone involved in. So yeah, everyone needs to check it out because it is funny. Just a bit of fun and a laugh. There's nothing serious, but you know, it's something a bit different.
That's it. It did make me smile this morning because I watched the Brick Power and then the Fist of Fury. Oh, Fist of Fire, sorry. Yeah. So
smile is for a little chuck.
Yeah, it was great. So everyone should check it out.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for your time and good luck with your sparring with Ebanie, and best of luck for the 24th of September.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's been great chatting to you.
Great. Thank you. Thanks, Raven.
Thank you for watching. And if you enjoyed the video, please hit like. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any future content. And why not check out any other videos on the channel? You can follow Women's Fight News on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.